Oh, my mic was muted. What's up, rosebuds? What's going on with y'all tonight? Happy Monday. I'm still getting everything set up, but y'all get up in here. I have some stories to talk with y'all about. I am exhausted, by the way. Okay, so if my voice goes in and out, I'm sorry. Um, I've been like going through it, okay, with like trying to get up earlier to cook breakfast instead of give my son cereal and go to the gym in the afternoon. It's been quite a time. But anyway, happy Monday. It's good to see you all. I have three topics to cover tonight. Some of them stem from uh some of the foolishness that went on over the weekend. What's up, Chelsea? It's good to see you. I sent you a Discord message. I don't know how often you're on Discord, but I sent you a message. So if you can go and check it and just let me know what you think about my idea. What's up, Corey? Panelverse was in here super early at 6:30 showing support and love for the channel. I appreciate you very much, sir. Um, yeah, but if you could please tap the like button. Likes are free. If you haven't subscribed, maybe you can consider subscribing today. So I have three topics to talk about today. We're going to talk about Mississippi's history. We're going to talk about the U.S. Iran war and what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz or Hormuz. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And then we're going to talk about this young lady, Ashlee Jenae. I've been seeing a lot of stories about her, and you all have been. If you saw my first thumbnail, it was a bit jarring. My mentor was like, "You need to pull that down. That's going to get flagged." So I redid the thumbnail. What's up, DeAndre? It's good to see you. Yeah, you guys can definitely suggest topics for me to cover. I actually changed talking about Offset and Tokyo Tony's hot mess asses and decided to talk about Ashley because that was something that a couple of subscribers had mentioned to me earlier in the daytime. So if you mention it to me early and I catch it before I start getting ready for the show, I usually get started working on readjusting any of my ideas between about 4:30 and 6:30 p.m. And then we sit down and go live at 9 p.m. So as long as you get them in for me, I can definitely tweak some things so that we can discuss them. And what's up, Cases and Cams? I was thinking if it's okay with you that I might play your compilation of the Ashlee Jenae uploads from different content creators on TikTok today, if you don't mind. But I do have a video from also Poetic Flacco. I was watching a couple of videos from Tisa Tells, and I don't think it's a good idea for me to cover that on my channel. Tisa can be a bit all over the place, and I don't think she speaks from facts. I think she speaks from emotion, and we're not going to do that over here. But I'm happy to see you all. Definitely down and open for suggestions. So always please send them to me. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Hustler's Philosopher. Getting the show started with a $5 super chat. He says, I'm from Philadelphia, Mississippi. The movie Mississippi Burning is about Philly, Mississippi, and farming in Starksville, Mississippi. Slavery still exists there. Wow. Wow. Okay. We were on another panel. I was on a panel about 2 weeks ago where a young lady was talking about how her family, how her father was enslaved, and she was probably about probably close to 40 years old. And people in the comments section were dragging her, saying that slavery doesn't exist anymore and she's lying and all of this stuff. And I just, my grandparents were sharecroppers here in Georgia. And things aren't as cut and dry always. So I appreciate you giving us that tidbit of information, because slavery is alive and well in a lot of places. And just because we live in America, the place of supposedly milk and honey, it doesn't mean that we don't have nefarious things going on here. Okay. But I wanted to cover this story because last night on the Untouchables, they had a panel. It was Ladies First. And there was some conversations, of course, about mental health, Black men's mental health. I don't know how it got into Black men's versus mental health versus Black women's mental health, and how Black women are just, held down so much harder than Black men. So I felt like we should open up this story today. I look like Britney Spears. Okay. I'll take it. But back when she was healthy, right? Okay. Because I've been eating really healthy, y'all, like super healthy all day. Blackberries, bananas, blueberries. But thank you. Thank you against me. And what's up, CEO? What's up, Sly Silver, Slick Bronx, and Triple X? In Cases and Cam says no to Tisa Tells. Yeah, I agree. Cases, I'm not going to go there. But again, thank you to Hustler's Philosopher for breaking us off with a $5 super chat. I'm going to show you guys this right here. Let's go here. Let me make this a little bit bigger though. There we go. Okay. So I thought this story was interesting because of some things that Jazz said. I don't know if you all know this young woman. Her name is Jazz Noel. She was on the Untouchable Empire Ladies First panel yesterday. And she doesn't really know her Black history. And I find that very alarming. And just for anybody out there that is not aware, I want to, before we cover or read this story, I want to just go over some high level talking points for young ladies like Jazz. Okay. So when I looked this up today, and it took me a minute because we had to go over several different like encyclopedias and also Wikipedia. And I had to go through this database called Equal Justice Initiative. But I want y'all to just listen to this, okay? When Black women say that they are more oppressed than Black men, I want you to immediately see that as a red flag and get the F away from that person. Okay, because that person is not dealing in reality, and that person can get you hurt. Okay. Overall, all right, I found that, and this is a scholarly estimate. Okay. And if you don't know what scholarly is, you should go and look up that word and that term too. Okay. But I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the young lady that was quoting some foolishness yesterday on the panel about her own Black history. Okay. But an estimate of between 120 and 200 Black women and girls were hung from trees. Okay. I don't want to say the word because I don't know if it'll get flagged by YouTube. So we're talking about Mississippi. And we're saying that young girls between 120 and 200 Black women and young girls were hung from trees between 1865 and 1965. Okay, so 1865 to 1965. Now, I'm not a mathematician. I did take statistics, barely passed it. I do have a master's degree. I would not have that master's degree if it was not for my husband being as smart as he is. Okay. You guys do the math in the comments. Is that about 100 years? Okay. All right. And out of roughly 5,000 hangings total of Mississippi between that time, 1865 and 1965. And there could have been more, guys. There could have been more. This is just what is documented. And this is what we're going to get into when we go over this AP's journalism on Mississippi's history. Okay. Out of roughly 5,000 total hanging victims. Okay. So that implies, remember, 120, okay, 120 and 200, okay. I don't know, can y'all read that? 120 to 200 Black women were hung from trees from 1865 to 1965 out of 5,000, okay. So that implies that 4,800 to 4,880 Black men and boys were hung from trees. So there were roughly 4,600 to 4,700 more Black men and boys hung from trees than Black women and girls, okay? All right. So I just like let this like sit in. Okay, can y'all see that? So it's a little bright, but this is the number of women right here. 120 to 200 out of 5,000. So what makes up the total? What is more? 4,000 or 120 to 200? That lady had me so mad. I was afraid to join the panel because I knew I was going to say things to her that are not nice and pretty. And I somewhat find her to be somewhat, oh, I don't think she's a bad person, but she clearly has some weird thing going on where I feel like she needs counseling because maybe she hadn't had a great relationship with her father because everything, it's like she can understand everything when it comes to race except for when it comes down to everything with her is man versus woman. And in the conversation yesterday about mental health, I don't think that was what they were trying to get at, but that is what the women were constantly trying to make it. And so I wanted to open this up today by just letting women that think like Jazz know that you do not have it worse than Black men. You just don't. And the reason why you don't is because of what's between your legs. So anytime you fix your mouth to talk like that, you should just shut it, zip it. Okay? Zip it. Annoying. Annoying. What's up, Mr. Wilson? It's good to see you. Thank you for the $5 donation. I feel so blessed today. Thank you. He says, good show, Mrs. Rose. My uncles used to tell me, for everyone you know about, there's 9 more you don't know about. That's deep. For everyone you know about, there's 9 more you don't know about. That's scary, too. Because if we're talking about women that think that they're more oppressed than men, when they live in a society that was just built for them by men, that they have the rights that they have today from the men and their society, I just, and I bet you that most of those Black men were deleted protecting and defending Black women. And just for their ancestors later on down the road to say that no, they're more oppressed than the Black men of their past. Annoying. It annoys me so much. It annoys me so much. I just wanted to say that. I wanted to say a couple of other things too. Thank you, Mr. Wilson, and thank you, Sly Silver Slick Bronx, for the $2. He says, "That's why you're our sister, Mrs. Rose." Thank you. Thank you. I am a sister. I'm a big sister. I don't like when people speak down to my brothers, okay? Be it my literal brother, or my brothers online, or my brothers at work, or my brothers on the train. Wherever I'm at, you're safe with me. I got your back. If you're not doing something foolish where I think you're going to harm me, I'm not going to let anybody harm you. Period. Just period. Um Yes, I agree with that. Chopped BMW. The only thing that is oppressing them is their own stupidity. 100, 100, 100. It was so egregious to hear her talking the way she was talking last night. And she did make some good talking points in the beginning, but nah, you don't have it worse than black men. Never could you ever. Never. Without their protection, you probably wouldn't be here. So how? What's up, postman? What's up? It's good to see you. Checking on the Chief Rosebud. Salute to you too, sir. It's good to have you. Thank you. Yes, join my Discord, please. That's another great way to send me topics. I'm going to figure out how to weed out the members from the Discord, and take those suggestions first, because I want to give more. I need to build out my program for members a little bit better. So I think that's a great way to do it. But yes, join my Discord and become a rosebud. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pooh Man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Pooh Man. But yeah, okay. So let me get back to the story. Let me let this play for y'all so y'all can hear a little bit about what they're talking about here. So basically, America is coming up on its 250th anniversary. And how this current administration doesn't really want to highlight all of the things that America has been about for all of these years. They kind of want to put it, in the basement, cover it up, don't let anybody know about our dirty laundry. But Mississippi said, no, we're going to tell the story about Mississippi, because two things can be true, right? For Mississippi, they want to show that patriotism and truth can basically exist together, right? And Mississippi is like kind of like the crux, if you just want to know, of like racial terror in American history. You can't talk about Mississippi without being reminded of what our kind friend in the comment section said earlier. Hustler's philosopher. When you say the word Mississippi, you think of this movie here, Mississippi Burning. Period. And if you've never seen the movie Mississippi Burning, you should see it. You should see it. It'll literally touch your soul. Okay? I mean, you don't have to be an American for it to affect you. It will literally change your life, that movie. Okay. So Mississippi said, nah, we not gonna just talk about American history and gloss over all of these things that are going on, or all of these things that have happened in our past. So they're saying that we're gonna talk about it. And even though the administration was trying to quash it, they're like, no, Mississippi has a special responsibility here, because its record was literally extreme. Okay. The Mississippi Civil Rights Museum says Mississippi ranked first in nearly every major lynching category from 1877 to 1950, y'all, including most lynchings and most uh, uh, just period. And even not just in lynchings, but remember when I was talking about that 100 to 200, that they even had the most when it came to female victims. So the museum stated that from 1977 to 1950, Mississippi accounted for about 600 lynchings. Okay. And that number that I was talking about, that 500 number, that 5,000 number, this is nationally. This is like the whole of America. Okay. Mississippi had the most out of the whole of America. Okay. So we're going to get into this story here. We're going to let this video play. Hopefully I don't get banged for it or demonetized for it, but I think it's worth it, you know. Here we go. Let's see. Will it play for me?
For so
Let's
long.
go. Let me start it over. Here we go, y'all.
Do you know who you're talking to?
Rewriting history will not make a difference because the truth is always there and it will bubble back up. I do believe that no matter what sort of erasure the country might be doing, we know the stories and we know the truth there, so it will come back out.
Telling the truth is important in these museums because for so long, the truth was denied. For so long, we just tried to gloss over that because it was uncomfortable. We as a state.
I don't think about these things every day. It's important to feel these things and to understand our history.
For so long, well into the 1970s, all students, regardless of race, were not learning the truth about what happened during the Reconstruction era, for example. Just recently, I think culminating with the opening of these museums, there's been a real effort to make sure that our school children understand, okay, this is what really happened during Reconstruction. In 1861, this is the real reason why Mississippi seceded from the Union.
Our whole endeavor as a country is to make a more perfect union, right? And so to learn from the mistakes, to learn from our past helps us create a better society for all people.
Yeah. So that's Miami right now. They're tearing down a building, a hotel. They're going to be rebuilding it. I thought that was pretty cool too. There's nobody in that building, but what you heard were bombs going off. They're detonating it. It's going to fall down to the ground. Pretty cool to watch, but not what we're talking about today. So basically, let me click that off. But so yeah, this museum said that, they're not going to hide anything. I want y'all to see some of the pictures that were in the museum. Let me see. Okay, so this was, of course, you know what this is, right? This is a Klan suit. This is what they wore when they to go drag people out of their homes and burn crosses in the middle of people's yards. This is a young boy, in the museum checking things out. But this was really cool. This like kind of put a chill up my spine. So this is like these are the records of most of the people that they lynched. And on the record, it'll show you the year that it was done, the name of the person, if they had a name, and it would tell you the reason why that person was deleted. And there's a lot of instances where I know my camera is going crazy. Something's going on with my computer, but for the majority of people that were named, they were men. So it tells you the year, the age, about the age and why they were deleted. You know, some of it says unknown, some of it says, you know, that they allegedly raped someone, that they allegedly murdered someone, you know, but this was not done through the court of law. This was just like vigilante justice, you know, and they were keeping up with these records. So it's very disheartening. It's a cool article for you guys to read. I'm going to drop the link in the comment section so that you guys can pull it up for yourselves if you want to read it. It's from the Associated Press. I have to read the news for my job. I have to stay on top of the news at my job. So when I saw this morning, I was just like, oh, we got to talk about this because this directly correlates with the foolishness talking points of some of the young ladies yesterday on Fatty and Ali's panel. Just unbelievable. And Brandon, you're so funny. Thank you for the $2. Brandon says, don't be jazz lit. That's a funny term. That's a funny term. You guys let me tell you something. The chat makes what's happening on the panel actually bearable. You guys don't know how much you all actually drive the show, calm down the hosts, and keep things on track. You know, shout out to the chat. Seriously. I mean, you guys, you know, by making these little jokes and coining these little terms while we are going through, yeah, I know my video froze. I don't know what's going on. Like everything is updating. Thank you. Thank you, Triple. But yeah, you guys make what's happening on the panel bearable because it's like sometimes like you hear the passion in Ali and you hear the passion in Fatty's voice, and even my passion. What was that, a week ago, where that dusty bum lady was saying that African men are better than American Black men. You know, we get incensed by the audacity, you know, and I get so passionate, but then you guys will crack a joke in the comment section and I'll remember that it's more of us that see it the normal kind of way than it is of them trying to make everything unrealistic, you know. So shout out to y'all. Yeah, shout out to y'all. But yeah, so basically, you know, the executive office didn't want Mississippi to rip the nasty Band-Aid off of Mississippi's ugly, torrid history. And Mississippi said no. I don't know that if you guys are in Mississippi, but you guys should check it out. I would totally go and check this out myself if it were here. I'm in Atlanta. We have our own Black History Museum, but this is pretty freaking cool. That they are not cool that these atrocities happened, but cool that they're not trying to cover it up and pretty up their history and cover up what really happened. You know, children need to know where they came from and what soil they were born on. I think that's important. It's like a birthright to know, right? But it's 9:30. I'm gonna keep the show rolling to about 10:30. I'm on this new health kick where I'm fasting and I have to get 8 hours of sleep every night, or this is not gonna work. What I'm trying to do. So you guys bear with me, but I'm definitely doing a show on Wednesday. So we'll be back on Wednesday, but we're gonna be talking about more ratchet things. So let me go into the next. Let me see. I was just in that saw the barn where Emmett Till, oh my God, was unalived. Oh my goodness, Blue. He just had a birthday and that was like splashed all over all my social medias. And I was just happy to see that we keep his name and his picture alive. He was so cute. My son is 15, you know, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Like it chokes me up. Like I get like it just I get a pit in my stomach, like just thinking about what he had to go through, what his mother had to go through, how horrible these people can be, and that we're going to kind of transition that sediment into the last story we're going to cover, because I don't know if you guys have heard about this young lady named Ashlee Jenae. And some of the things that are allegedly going on, but she passed away in Africa. And I wanted to talk about that because I was literally just kind of going off on a young lady that was comparing American Black men to Africans and saying that African men were better than American Black men. And I don't think that there are no better people than any other people. I just think there are good people and bad people. And when you talk like that, it's very divisive, and it puts you in a very precarious situation. Like this young lady, Ashlee Jenae, possibly, allegedly, I don't know, but we're going to talk about it. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So Prime VA 757 says, this is unfortunate. The crazy thing is that over the last 2 years, it's been over 100 Black women killed by YT men. I don't know what's going on. Now, I don't know about the 100, but it does seem to be like an uptick, where there was that young lady in Baltimore, was it, that went on that date, that Tinder date or whatever, and she was deleted. And then that guy like dropped her parts all over the city. That was kind of scary, but I don't want to get into that yet, but thank you, Prime. We're definitely going to talk about it. And I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you, 30K UVL, for gifting the membership for Smell the Roses. If you received a membership from 30K, please say thank you. 30K is like a permanent fixture in the Rose Garden, along with Chelsea and Pooh Man and Brandon and Stephen James. What's up, Stephen James? I see you. I'm sorry, I was talking. And Triple X. Yes, yes. Mississippi Burning and movies like that upset my spirit. I watched Black Klansman and wanted to revolt. Yeah. There's still movies that I just don't watch because of Mississippi Burning. And what was the one with Denzel Washington when he was getting whooped? I haven't seen that movie about the maids. I haven't watched that movie. I haven't seen the movie about, I don't watch any slave movies. I can't watch it because it just affects me so much. It's hard to like go out into the world and be positive after you see shit like that. I'm sorry for cursing. Yeah, Glory. Man, that movie, that movie broke my spirit for real. Like, I was wondering like why my dad even let me watch that movie, but my dad used to want me to know, that I was Black, and that Black people had these experiences, because I think he felt like my mom was too like looking at things through rose-colored glasses, and so my dad was trying to like bring me back to center, like, regardless of what your mama look like and how light skinned you are a Black woman, and this is what happened to Black people, and you need to know. So yeah, Glory, that was, yeah. Okay, so yeah, he did. Yeah, it's always those kind of roles, Tariq Nasheed, and I don't mean to bring him up, but he says that we only get nominated or we only get awards when we're either being like, 304'd out, or we're playing these roles where we're like downtrodden slaves, or really, really bad people, but yeah, crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the next story. We're going to just briefly talk about what the hell is going on with these people in Iran. And listen, y'all, my dad was in the army. And I remember before we moved back to the States, I remember when we were going to Desert Storm. Do y'all remember Desert Storm? Okay, so when I was a young girl, I was living in Germany at the time, and I had literally just met President Ronald Reagan. He came to my elementary school, and the wall fell down, and everybody was like, "Kumbaya!" And then all of a sudden, Saddam Hussein was saying that that they were going to be swimming in American blood. Okay. So, like, I get that we as American people can't fathom innocent people being harmed by war, but there are just some things that you just can't trust some countries with. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. Okay. Now, yes, it was 91. Okay. He said, word, my pops was in the army 21 years, retired in 97. Hey, my dad was in the army 22 years. He retired 96. Wow. Our parents were probably our fathers were probably co-workers, depending on what his MOS was. Isn't that, or his MOS, or I forget what it's, their job description, depending on what your job description is. Like if your father was stationed in Germany, then it's highly likely that our fathers know each other. Yeah, because we all kind of like moved around the world together with our father's jobs. Very cool. All my uncles are retired military. Very cool. Yeah, MOS. Yeah. I've been hearing POS a lot lately since I called that lady a POS that was talking about Black men being so horrible compared to African men. So I don't know if it's because I was kind of like, I went viral a little bit that people are saying POS now. So I was like, and then I work for the government and I write a lot of stuff for HHS. So it's like, I can't remember all of these acronyms, but yeah. Very cool. I lived in Germany as a kid in the early 90s. So did I. I didn't leave Germany until 93, 94. So we were probably next door neighbors. That's so cool. Okay, Kennard, mine was too. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, one day y'all have to tell me like what your fathers did. My dad was infantry and he worked on tanks. I think he retired as a sergeant first class. And I just know that he worked on tanks. And every time there was like a field day, because Army brat kids, we had a field day once a year where we all got together to play games with our parents on the Army base. And they would take the tanks out and let us crawl in them. And we'd be all over the helicopters. My dad was a tanker. He retired a master sergeant. Wow. Our fathers probably do know each other. That's so crazy, Prime. That's crazy. When y'all moved, are you in VA? Is that where y'all settled down when y'all came back from from overseas? Because we've been in since my dad retired. We lived in Kentucky for a year before he got out of the Army completely, and then we moved to Georgia because he's a Georgia boy. Yeah. The cool thing about having Army dads is that they refer to their friends by their last name. So I won't ask you what your last name is, during this live, but oh, you live in Hawaii now. Wow, my friend LC is out in Hawaii. He's in the Army. And my best friend, her name was Miley. She lived in Hawaii. We found each other through LinkedIn when we became older, and we used to remember being pen pals. We used to write each other letters in school when we were in high school. And then we stopped because we got cool and got cell phones and started texting and things like that. But back in the day, we used to write each other letters when because we would be friends. We'd be the best of friends. And then our parents would get stationed somewhere else and we'd be so depressed that we would write each other letters once a week. Wow, Kennard, I was stationed in Hawaii. Schofield Barracks. Okay. Okay. I love it here. I work for DOD as a civilian. Very cool for you. Teach me. Teach me, okay? I would love to be in Hawaii, okay? Get me out of this Georgia pollen. People are like, why is Georgia so bad? Why does Georgia have all this pollen? I'm like, people don't know American history. It was the 13 colonies. It was Florida. It was Mexico. It was what? New Orleans. And then Georgia was like last, and it was carved out of like trees. Like we were literally like the blockade between Florida and the 13 colonies. We were just trees. It was nothing. So that's why we have so much pollen here, because this is a deciduous region part of the country that we're in. But I could talk about nature and all of that for forever. But so I know I do hear that it's very expensive in Hawaii. I could only imagine. Everything is coming over by plane or boat. There's no train, there's no buses that can drive there. So I totally get it. I totally get it. But the scenery and the beaches make up for it. Man, listen, I'm coming up on my 20-year wedding anniversary, and that's on my list. Okay, that is on my list to come and visit you guys. Spec 4, but I was the best soldier. Look at you. Look at you. You go, boy. That is so cool. That is so cool. Well, I was in the Army, but I retired a private, an E1. I was only in the Army for a year. I did have to do 2 years. I was in the Army Reserve, but I enlisted when I was 17, and I ended up getting a scholarship to go to college. So they let me out, but I still had to do my weekends for a year. But I am technically considered a veteran, even though I didn't do much of anything. But I tried. I did my boot camp. I just didn't do my MIT training. So I'm strong. I'm stronger than I look now. Okay. I'm definitely stronger than I look. But okay. Let me, so we already talked about this one. Let me stop sharing this screen and let's talk about this Army stuff. Or right now, it's not even Army, right? I mean, I'm sure they have boots on the ground somewhere, but right now, this is like the Navy, right? This is like the Navy is in charge right now, because right now they're talking about blocking this Strait of Hormuz or Hormuz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but so they're blocking this, and they're blocking it because they basically, what they're saying is the U.S. wants them to agree to, let's see. Okay, so this is where we're at, right? The US wants Iran to agree to a 20-year suspension of doing their nuclear testing and increasing their nuclear capabilities. And Iran is like, nah, we could do 5 years, but 20 years, it's like, nah. But it's like, why do y'all need to do this? Okay, why do y'all need to do this? So this Strait of Hormuz is a flashpoint. It's basically maritime access. So that's why I say maritime is water. And when you think of that and you think of the extension of the military that deals with water, the first people that come to mind are the Navy and the Marines. Okay. And the US is blocking their Iranian ports because they're like, y'all not listening to us when we tell y'all to stop playing around with these nuclear weapons. And they're like, we gonna do what we want to do. They ain't listen to us when we ask them to stop, firing their weapons. They said, okay, we'll stop for 2 weeks. And then they started up like 6 hours after they agreed to not do it anymore. So it's kind of like all of these negotiations that the US keeps coming, they keep coming to the table wanting to negotiate. And these people are just basically like not listening to anything that we have to say. And I get where some people are like, well, y'all need to mind y'all business. But if somebody has a nuclear weapon, that is our business. Okay. We don't want another 9/11. I mean, not that, a nuclear weapon could just wipe us completely off of the map. I mean, when you think of like Pearl Harbor and what happened in Japan, like some of these places are just never, ever going to be the same again. And you can't, if these people have already showed that they don't have good faith towards us, why would we trust them with that? So I get where people are like, they don't want anything bad to happen to civilians. It's like the civilians need to do a better job at like telling their people to calm down a little bit, like, are there other weapons that you could go after? Does it have to be nuclear weapons? I don't know. But this conflict, it didn't just start with them saying that they're going to block off this strait. The block came after they've been trying to stop this ceasefire for like 6 weeks. And it started like in February, late February, and it's just like going and going and going. And I think that a lot of us are feeling it at the gas pump. I don't know. I drive a Mercedes GLC 300, a very basic model. I don't have the AMG, the coupe, nothing like that. I just have a very basic model, and it took me $70 to fill up my tank. That's how much it costs. And my husband's BMW, that's a 4-door sedan. I have the truck style car, but he has a BMW M series 4-door sedan, $95 to fill up his tank. I was like, I am never driving your car again. Okay. Because I was driving his car all week. I was feeling like I need to return it to him with a full tank of gas. And there went my facial money into the gas tank. Okay. So yeah, I think gas here is about $4.11. Stephen James says here in Baltimore, it's $4.20. Wow. Ridiculous. I think I saw something green earlier when I was talking. Did I catch it? No, that was 30K. And I thank you, 30K, for the membership. I appreciate you. But yeah, man, like, so we're feeling it at the pump because they're at war. So prices have gone up, and now they're talking about blocking this strait where they're bringing the oil tankers in and out, in and out, in and out. And so now we can just imagine what's going to happen if they completely block it off, how much gas prices are going to go up next week. Okay, $1 for you. Yeah, truckers are feeling the pain with diesel prices, I'm sure. How much does an 18-wheeler's tank take? I think my car, I get 16 gallons. I have a 16-gallon tank, I think. And my car at 15 or 16. But I can imagine an 18-wheeler was like, what, 30, 40? Jeez Louise. And the trucking companies, they don't, well, I guess if you drive for a company, they cover the cost of the fuel, right? But if you're an independent contractor with your own truck, holy crap, you probably have to go up on your load cost. Yeah, 55 gallons? 55 gallons? No way. No way, bro. I couldn't take it. No. I mean, I would have to come off of my truck and just do DoorDash, or I don't know. That is steep. 55 gallons for an 18-wheeler. Man, I pray for the truck drivers, you guys. And we need truck drivers. We need y'all. Like, how are we going to get our food? How are we going to get our clothes? Everything comes off of the trains into the 18-wheelers and then out to like UPS, Amazon. Everybody gets their stuff from a damn truck. When I had my restaurant, trucks were constantly at my restaurant all the time, going in and out of Restaurant Depot, those big 18-wheeler trucks. Yeah, we have to put 93 premium in our car. Can you put the cheaper gas in your car? Like, is that really a thing? Like, will it break my husband's car if I have to fill it up again and I pick the 83? Because if I shop at Kroger, I get like certain points and it'll take up to 30 cents off the gallon. So y'all tell me, will I mess up his car if I put 83 instead of the premium? Whatever. Y'all tell me, like, because I'll do it. I mean, it hurt not to get my facial. Y'all know I need my facial. I'm starting to get old. I need the treatments. I need the micro needling. I need all of that. I don't think we're getting cheaper gas soon. I don't think so. According to this, they're going to block off this Strait of Hormuz. They're going to block it off. The Navy, it says the U.S. naval blockade of Iran that began on Monday has little precedent in recent decades, and the military has offered few details on how it might carry out the operation. This is where we need a Mr. Fantastic, because Mr. Fantastic was in the Navy. So maybe he can tell us how they kind of work to stop the ships from going in and out, and the ships carry our gas or our petroleum or whatever is used to put gas in our cars. It says, but previous operations in the Middle East may offer some clues to what the blockade could look like in practice. The Navy has a track record of monitoring the movements of merchant ships and taking them over whether they want to be boarded or not. So even if they out there like what was that movie with hey Cree, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, sister. What was that movie with the pirates, Captain Dan or something like that, where they were like, give us free or something like that? Even if they don't want to stop, and the U.S. says the Navy has a track record of monitoring the movements of merchant ships and taking them over whether they want to be boarded or not. Oh my God. Okay, so these are some other reporters have chimed in on this. They say the leaders of the International Energy Agency and the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank Group warned of continuing threats to energy, food, and jobs worldwide as a result of the U.S.-Iran conflict and the effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz. The impact of the war is substantial, global, and highly asymmetric, disproportionately affecting energy importers and particular low-income countries. They said in a statement, the agency heads added that even if the strait reopens, fuel and fertilizer prices could remain high for some time given the damage to infrastructure. So even if they open that sucker up, because the fact that they're going to be closing it for however many weeks this takes, we're still going to feel the brunt of it. Oh my God. And it says, amid an American blockade on Iranian ports and continued uncertainty about the war in the Middle East, oil prices rose on Monday, but investors' concerns seemed assuaged when President Trump told reporters on Monday afternoon that Iran still wanted to achieve a deal, leaving open the possibility that talks could restart. Trump's comments helped drive down Brent crude and global benchmark to $99.36 from 102 earlier in the day. The S&P 500 closed about 1% higher on Monday after rebounding from small loss earlier in the day. So I think so basically they know that this shit ain't going well. But they tell us that it is so that we bet higher in the stock market and drive things back up. Are they playing with us? Like, is this a joke to them? It says the majority of ships that have exited the Strait of Hormuz since the start of the war are believed to have carried Iranian goods, according to an analysis of data from Kempler, a global shipping firm. Since the beginning of March, when the number of vessels transiting the strait dropped to only a few a day. Around 2/3 of the oil tankers and cargo ships that exited the Persian Gulf via the strait had last docked at an Iranian port, according to the data. So this is a little bar chart that kind of like shows like the up and down, the up and down, the up and down of this. I don't know. And so this is sad too. Like, imagine that you're going through all of this, right, in Iran, and now there's an internet blackout. It says the Iran's near total internet blackout extends into its 7th week. Iranian businesses and academics are arguing that the shutdown not only violates citizens' rights, but further destabilizes the country's already weakened economy. So I have to roll back what I just said. The citizens don't have a voice. They're unable to tweet anything or email their congressmen or congresswomen or however they call it in their country because there's no internet. So imagine going through all of this. America is potentially going to start deleting more people or, at least like shutting down more of your country's ability to make money. And you don't even get to know what's going on in the news other than what they're telling you. So they're not going to be able to see us on YouTube or us on X or anything. That's scary as hell. Iran's government cited national security reasons when it imposed the internet blackout. It's third on the country's more than 90 million citizens since the 12-day since the 12-day war last year. So wait a minute. Iran's government cited national security reasons when it imposed the internet blackout. It's third on the country's more than 90 million citizens. So this is the third time they've done this to them. Internet freedom activists say Iran's actions suppress communications, helping it to maintain control over its population during wartime. That is so scary, y'all. That scares me. How would we talk to each other without the internet? I mean, we're not like our fathers. We don't know Morse code. Most of us don't even have like battery operated radios in our houses. So how would we talk to each other? This is really scary. This is like eye-opening. Think about if this happened here, if all of a sudden we had no way to talk to each other. We can't get on YouTube. We can't get on Instagram. There's nothing happening on Twitter or X rather. It's just a freaking blackout. How are we going to talk to each other? If the internet ain't up, the mail ain't running, that's scary. What's up, the International Quiet Storm? What's up, Cinnamon? It's good to see you. Cracking, lacking, says Rob. Rob. We need to rob the oil. Oh my God. We can't rob the oil. We have to come to a peaceful agreement on how we're going to get this done so that everybody can be happy and we can be amicable. Our countries can be amicable, like with each other. We might not like each other. We might not agree with how, we run our countries, our voting system. You might not even like Trump, but I mean, the whole world can't suffer because you guys can't get along. We still got Debo's pigeon coop to send messages. How are we gonna do that? You know how long it took me to train my Doberman pinscher? Damn near 4 years. You gonna have me out there trying to train pigeons to come back and forth between me and you, Project Libra? I can't. Okay, so that's that. My high level talking points were, the core dispute is bigger than shipping. The deeper fight is over Iran's nuclear program, regional power, and security guarantees. Okay. So we need them to chill out on their nuclear program, but they're like, nah, we need to have a big red button to push when y'all get on our nerves. And I want everybody to think of that when they're considering going out to protest against the war. You're essentially saying that you trust these people with the big red button that could just wipe out the state of Oklahoma, wipe out the state of Georgia, take out the whole southern country of the region. Like, this is what we're saying here. So we really got to put it all into perspective. A lot of us have military parents. My dad used to go for weeks out at a time, and he would tell me that he was going to the field. And what I eventually learned that to mean from talking to other servicemen, not from my father, because my father would never tell me something like this, is that they were out playing war games. So, they're learning how to protect us. So I don't think that we'd be sending these soldiers out to danger if it wasn't for our ultimate protection. So if you see a vet, you need to show respect and say thank you. You see a serviceman, somebody in the military, you need to say thank you, even if it is a civilian working for the DOD, the Department of Defense. Say thank you. These people are working overtime lately and nobody's getting overtime pay. Okay. So yeah, basically that was it on my take for what's going on with Iran, because it's like we can't get away from it. Like it's in the news every day. We're seeing it. Our gas prices are going up, and a lot of other things are going to be going up because, they're going to be blocking off this passageway that gets all of the oil and a lot of other things out to the rest of the world. So, yeah, war is rough. People never return home the same. Yes, I agree. I had an uncle that went to I had 2 uncles that went to Vietnam. And they will never disclose the things that happened to them. But from family members that knew them before they left, they came back very different people, which is really sad. So that's why I say show respect to our servicemen. Okay, so I don't know. I'm gonna stop sharing this and bring myself up. Oh my God, my hair is it was so cute over the weekend when I had my date night, but then I worked out today and now it's it's getting a little nappy. It's getting a little nappy. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I'm gonna try to ride this out and work out all week. Okay, so this last story is sad as hell. I there was so I didn't know if Cases and Cams, are you still in here? I hope I can share your video. Cases and Cams, he put together a compilation of this next topic that we're going to be discussing. I wanted to share his compilation because I'm not so good with TikTok. I'm actually really afraid of TikTok, to be honest with you. I think that TikTok women would cancel me and get my page deleted, my YouTube page deleted. So I don't even go over there, barely go over there, barely comment on anything or scroll for the most part, unless it's like something really specific. Like that drag I did on DL Hughley's daughter. I had to look her up specifically to do that drag. But this topic here, I'm using this video in fair use. If anybody can drop Cases and Cams YouTube page in the comment section for me, I'm going to definitely link his page to the description in this video so that you guys can go back and give him a subscribe, like the video without my commentary. There's a young lady named Ashlee Jenae, and we're gonna watch his compilation, but then we're gonna watch Poetic Flacco's information on it. And you know what? I can drop Danny's information. Let me go to his page and drop his link in the chat. This is Danny. Y'all, he posts a lot about news. And his commentary is super funny. And he's passionate too. I watch him a lot, especially on my way to work or on my way home from work.
Well, she's dead.
But this young lady passed away. You're going to see a lot of, there's a lot of speculation as to how she died. I'll just say that, but I'm going to let this play so that y'all can get the gist of it. Okay, here we go.
Her social media handle is Ashlee Jenae. Real name, Ashley Robinson. Her fiance's name is Joe McCann. They were celebrating her 31st birthday on a trip to Tanzania. He was there in the villa when she fell ill. This is Tanzania, y'all, where forensics is advanced, but not like here in the U.S. And was that the reason he took her to Tanzania? Is what people are wondering. Cause of death, a mystery. It's been a week and they still don't know. The family is asking for a thorough investigation. Do you know how many Black women travel to Africa and come back alive? Like, why her? And this is getting a lot of attention because she's an influencer with a lot of followers who mourn her and are demanding answers. Yeah, fly in a forensics team from the U.S. to do something, to make sure that no stone is left unturned. Pray for her loved ones and pray for justice, y'all.
So I'm sure all you guys heard this by now, that Ashlee Jenae, the Black woman that was strangled by her white husband, right? And so it was found that she lost her life, she passed away, at a hotel, correct? Somebody literally predicted that he was going to take her life. Check her Instagram and check the comment section 20 weeks ago. That is crazy. Not only that, some Black man was saying rest in peace. She was like, hey, you can't believe what she said on social media about Black men. She called Black men abusive. Here's this. She wanted mixed children growing up. Look what she said about Black men, right? Now, I think it's horrible what happened. Condolences to her family, right? Look at the way he was looking at Ashley through these pictures.
Okay, so a lot of people have been like showing this picture here of them on the airplane on the way to Zanzibar. And I don't know, it does look kind of eerie. You know, he deleted all of his social media, or he blocked, he made his social media private. They say he deleted a lot of like certain apps from his phone. I don't know. This is crazy, but her tweets were wholly egregious. Again, much like the young lady who I got into it a week ago, where she said black men were basically like the scum of the earth. U.S. American born black men were basically the scum of the earth, and that African men were better. Right. And so this is another young lady with kind of that frame of thinking. You know, she had very horrible things to say about her own race on Twitter, very outwardly, on social media, very outwardly. Maybe these people were dragging her because she was dating a white man. I don't know the context as to why she was saying these very horrible things about the men of her own race, right? But see, now that she's passed away during these like weird circumstances while she was with this YT man, the black men of her community aren't really showing any empathy for her. Now, I don't know like how to feel about that. To me, I'm raised Catholic. I feel like, you know, I feel like once you pass away, you are like, unless you've done something horrible, you've hurt children, you've harmed people, you've killed animals, I feel like you can, there's like redemption for you, forgiveness for you, grace for you. But I'll let this play.
Like, that's crazy. And remember when this black man was unalived by his white girlfriend, and black woman was laughing, celebrating rest in preference, right? Because that black man said he would rather sleep with a white dog than a black bee. That is crazy.
Yeah, so when you see this story online, you're going to see a lot of what you just heard, rest in your preference. And so what that means is she preferred white men, so let her rest with her white man. And it's just like, damn, y'all, you know, she got a mother, she got a father. These are other black people. Like, no, I know no pope can save me. I know. I'm not, I look, I'm not saying that being a Catholic is the best thing to be. I'm just saying that they teach us to, you know, repent for our sins. And then when you pass away, that you might be forgiven by God, is what I'm saying. So if God can forgive her, then maybe we could forgive her too, is all I'm saying. But let me let this play, because it ain't about me. It ain't about me. Okay. Like,
and I'm going to call out both sides. I think it's sad, black men and women that lost their life, right? Unfortunately, you know, but y'all gotta understand, when you have a white girlfriend or a white man and you get your life taken away by them, and black people see these posts, you bring it down your own people, rather black women, black men, black people are going to laugh at you. They're also going to say rest in preference to you. You don't want that to happen. I just feel like if you're dating outside your race, please don't bring down the black community. You know what I mean? Love who you love, black men and black women. If you're dating them, please watch what you post on social media. You don't want other black people celebrating and making all these jokes about you, like, that's what you get. You don't want that to happen, okay? I just feel like it's sad both ways to them. My personal opinion, it's my opinion. But that's crazy, man.
A crypto millionaire and an influencer went on a perfect vacation, but only one of them came back. What really happened is going to shock you. He was one of the most successful crypto hedge fund founders in the world and started a platform worth hundreds of millions of dollars. She was a 31-year-old lifestyle influencer from Miami. They took the perfect trip to Tanzania, Africa, and he proposed to her while on a safari in front of some lions. Now, Ashlee Jenae and Joe McCann were set to be married. They had traveled the world together, and he gave her everything she wanted. It was a match made in heaven until a few days later, she was found passed away. Just hours earlier, she had been exchanging texts with a friend about how excited she was for her new engagement. Now she was found in their hotel room hanging. He said that she did this to herself and that there was no foul play involved. But her friends and family disagree, and
okay, so this ties back to the Mississippi story earlier in the show tonight, when we talked about this number of 120 women to 200 women being hung in trees. Well, Ashlee was allegedly found, hanging in her bedroom or in her hotel room by some article of clothing, strap, belt, or something. That's eerie, right? It's kind of like, what the fuck? It's wow.
They demand justice. You see, those millions that he made as a hedge fund manager all disappeared recently. His fund collapsed and people criticized him, saying that everything he touched turned to ash. He went and deleted every picture of him and his fiance, scrubbing them from the internet. But pictures of him and his...
So this is his ex-wife, and she's also a Black girl. I don't know. I've been listening to this story all day. And we're going to watch a video from Poetic Flacco where there's some other details that have come out. But to me, and I've lived in other countries as a mixed girl, okay? A mixed American girl. Sometimes the local people will have a vendetta on you, will have like feelings about you, maybe we're all suspecting that he did something to her, and maybe one of the local people did something to her. They say they got into an argument at the hotel. They were separated. They say he went to go check on her, and when he found her unresponsive. So could it be that maybe somebody from the hotel, or maybe possibly somebody that drove them from the hotel to the safari, could they have maybe done something to her? Maybe like circled back, I don't know. Like, is it wrong? Like, if this wasn't the first Black woman he's ever dated, then maybe Black women are his preference. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm a mixed kid. Clearly, I'm not going to have a problem with interracial dating. Okay. So I don't, but I also have always only dated Black men myself. I think I tried dating one white boy. And I called his house one time, and his older brother answered the phone, and I think he pretended to put me on mute, but and now as a grown up, I totally think that he wanted me to hear him say, Josh, this Black bee is on the phone for you. And so Josh got on the phone. He was very apologetic, that his brother said something like that about me. And I played it off. We talked about whatever we talked about. And then I got off the phone and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And I said I would never, ever be in that situation again. And then one other time I had a friend, I won't say his name. We're not friends anymore. We're not friends anymore because Obama became the president. But anyway, I went and I met his mother, and I was pregnant with my son, and his mother asked me if I was married, and I clearly had a ring on my finger. So I was so taken back that she asked me if I was married. And I said, yes, I've been married for 3.5 years. This is my first child with my husband. Yeah, I'm married. And I felt like, that should have been a clue to me then, the kind of person Andrew, sorry, I said his name, but the kind of person Andrew would become. And then later on, Obama became the president of the United States or something like that. So, and we ended up falling out and not being friends anymore from something really discriminatory that he said. And as a mixed person, I just take offense anytime you talk about my Black side, I'm not the type of mixed person that can overlook that. Maybe there are mixed people out there that can turn a blind eye to racial discrimination against Black people, but I am not one of those mixed people. Okay. I love my father very much. I'm very proud of my Black history. So to me, when I see this picture here of his previous wife, and I can clearly tell that she's a Black girl, I think that his preference is Black women. So maybe it wasn't him that hurt her, is all I'm saying. Oh God, sentiment, really?
Ex-wife were still available. He made no posts and no statements about what had happened. In fact, the day she was found, he was tweeting about AI as if nothing had ever changed. He deleted his Telegram chats and all of his accounts and groups. And why would she do this to herself?
Kennard, ain't nothing wrong with them pink toes. I can't with you.
On a vacation when she was just proposed to on her birthday. The hotel said that it didn't even happen on their property. The authorities are investigating signs of foul play. He didn't even let her family know. They were contacted by the authorities.
That's another thing, Project Leroy. I wanted to talk about this again on Wednesday because I actually do want to look up how many times do we do that when we self take ourselves up out of here. What are the likelihoods that that is the way that we choose to do it? And usually women aren't as successful as men when it comes to that way, you know? So, and this was another thing that the guys last night, Ali and Fatty, were talking about on the ladies panel, mental health and self-deletion. And it's really, listen, if you're thinking about something like that, there are hotlines, people that can help you. Like, I don't want anybody to think that I'm taking this lightly, because I'm not. Like, if that is what is being reported, that is what is being reported. It will have to be investigated, and then we'll have to figure out from there what comes out in the investigation. But this is like really scary to me, that you go out of town and you're proposed to, and now you're out of here, and it's like all of this elusive details as to how it happened. It's like, why is this happening in 2026? I don't care where the hell you are, Zanzibar, you know, like, no. And then my friends are always like, Raquel, go on a cruise, go here, go there. I'm like, no, I don't like to go places where the laws are just up in the air willy-nilly. You know, you take me on a cruise and y'all push me off the boat, or one of the workers push me off the boat and y'all leave me, and I'm just out there in the middle of the ocean and getting eaten by sharks. Like, no. That's why I never go to Mexico. To me, the government is just too unstable. So I just don't feel safe. Like, I like to go to places where there's a very stable government. They do things kind of like America. If something bad happens to me, I can go to the U.S. Embassy, or my parents can go to the U.S. Embassy and get some answers. Maybe that's the army brat in me. I don't know. But I ain't trying to ever go to no Zanzibar. It could be a beautiful place. I just ain't, no. I just can't, y'all. I'm scared of this. I'm scared because of stuff like this.
Who found their emergency contact information in her passport. Was this an accidental tragedy, or is this something far worse? Why would he be deleting his posts and messages and covering a trail? Why has he remained silent? Is this connected to the collapse of his multi-million-dollar crypto empire? Did she know too much about his shame?
So Dave Beaster, I believe she's from Miami. So I think she grew up in Florida. But I'll figure that out too when we talk again on Wednesday. But she was like a trendsetter. Like, she was like all around, like, her social media. She was like Netherlands, Asia, Malaysia, like she was everywhere. So this was kind of like her flow.
Shady business dealings? Was he directly involved in her passing? And do you think he's going to get away with this?
By now, y'all heard of this Miami influencer who was found dead in Tanzania. I guess one of her friends said, "We need justice for my friend Ashlee Jenae, who was found dead in her hotel in Tanzania, and her fiance, Joe McCann, claims she hung herself. Anyone who knows Ash knows she would never commit suicide. We need answers now." People in her comments literally warned her that this white man was going to unalive her. Black women don't think the grass is greener on the other side. Not that she would pay attention to the warning anyway. Of course, they ran through her tweets where she fetishizes over having mixed children. And of course, we are the problem. And I don't blame her. I really blame the men that came into her life, the men she chose through the image of what Hollywood has set up over us. So she categorized all black men from the men that treated her horribly, or even down to her father, who was probably non-existent. Yeah, it is sus that you go to Africa, ironically, when you have a problem with black men, you go to Africa for your birthday and you get engaged. Within those couple of days, no way in the world you're hanging yourself, especially when the captions are some of her posts saying this exactly where she needs to be. So, yeah, pretty much he probably did it. He's moving like nothing's wrong. Like he didn't lose a whole fiance. He's posting on Twitter. He does some financial business. But if I had my guess, he may be close to Freemasonry, because that's what they do. Maybe this is just a bump up. Maybe because her tweets and her outing herself to be a divester, maybe he saw that, picked that up, and said, okay, I can make a chip off her by just offering her up to bail. And then I can just...
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for the super sticky, messy Michonne. I appreciate you coming to check me out today. It makes me so happy. It just made my day. Okay. Love and respect to you for being here tonight. Team Peterson, what is going on with you? Team Peterson says, what WTF is Zesty X talking about? Come on now. He's concerned. Like, we all are concerned about this. This isn't funny. Come on, y'all. No, we can't. We got to stop pow in the messenger and take the message. Like, is this weird? Now, okay, so one thing that I did think I saw on, I think it was Tisa Tells in her insanity, okay? She was talking about somebody had linked him to Iggy Azalea. And so Iggy Azalea had to come out and say, hey, look, we found out this man was shady back in 2024 and we stopped messing with him. So the thing about this man right here, Zesty X, saying that the man is shady has some validity to it, is all I'm saying, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get that he might look a little zesty, but he's using his platform to try to figure out what the hell is going on here. Why is this man deleting things? That's really suspicious. If me and my husband go somewhere and my husband doesn't come back with me and winds up, deleted, the first thing I do is I'm like trying to figure out, who do I talk to get answers? I'm not deleting anything because that's not even important to me right now. My husband just passed away. I need to figure out what the hell happened and what do I do next, y'all? Like, I'm not going to be thinking about deleting my Instagram, or I'm not even going to be thinking about my Instagram. He made his Instagram private, or he shut it down. I would not even be thinking about that. My phone could be going off all day and all night. Listen, I'm trying to figure out what happened to my husband. I don't care what these people online are saying. You see? So it's just like, it is kind of suspicious.
Leave her, take the ring, and boom, my business is going to soar. My notoriety is going to soar after this. but we can only wait. But there's a lesson to all this. And I'm pretty sure she's an unawakened Israelite, and the rules are different with us than everybody else. Yeah, y'all can go and say, oh, it's about love and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, this is where it all comes down to. In Tobit, beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a woman of the seed of your fathers, and take not a strange woman to be your woman, which is not of your father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even...
Hold on, I got that for you. I got that for you.
You don't find that suspicious?
Not Cardi B voice, but Dr. Umar. That's all I had.
You don't find that suspicious?
Okay, we'll let it go.
They married women of their own kindred and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. This is why they push interracial couples on us so hard, because they know the second Exodus is coming, and you're going to disqualify your seed, your generational wealth, your generational inheritance, because they keep programming you with interracial relationships. Mind you, if y'all already in these relationships and you woke up in them, you have to do what you got to do. But the Most High is very strict about his people, very strict about the image of his people. So if we all think we're going to get out here in the second Exodus, I'm telling you, the ones that are going to inherit the land have Israelite women or Israelite men as their partners.
Okay, now I kind of want to call him a sassy straight too, because I'm a mixed kid. So what am I, just like chopped liver? Like, I'm definitely damned and going to hell according to him. But I mean, and shout outs again to Messy Michonne, because I got that sassy straights from Messy Michonne. Like, I mean, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This is... And thank you so much, Messy, for the super sticker. I appreciate you so much. And then let me go down here to Project Leroy. Project Leroy says, how come the Pan-Africans are quiet about this? I don't know, Project Leroy. According to some reports, this YT man that Ashley was with was actually from Zanzibar. So I think he's like a white African. I don't know. I think I snapped. I don't know. But allegedly. So maybe they're not saying anything because he's technically from the continent, and maybe that would make them not be able to speak out on it. But either way it go, like, we need to say something about it. It's strange. It's weird. And thank you so much, Jay Walker, for becoming a new member. Hey. Hold on, let me see. I think I made some media things, but my husband, he didn't approve them. Y'all want to see what I... Just to break up some of the melancholiness that's going on right now. So because Messy Michonne sent me a super sticker, this is what I made for super stickers.
Imagine ain't no money around here, Yoko. Move it. Say what you doing punching in all them numbers, boy? What, you got a bank account in Switzerland or something, what?
So that's for my super stickers. And then these are for my this is what I was supposed to play for my super chat. So he approved these two. He didn't approve my Cash App one. And I'll show y'all that if he walks back upstairs. Here we go. So that's for my super chats. And I'll show y'all a Cash App when my husband goes back upstairs. I don't want to get in trouble, but he did not approve. He did not approve my Cash App one. So I ain't gonna play that one. I don't want to get in trouble because he will snatch me from behind this from behind this computer. And I don't want y'all to know how crazy my husband is, but he is crazy. Okay. All right. And thank you, Divine Photos, for the super chat. Divine says, funny how Netflix and other networks can make documentaries talking about the dangers of the red pill and not the divestment community, make it make sense. Divine Photos, we should make it. We should make the documentary. We can't leave it up to them. We cannot leave it up to them. We have to make it ourselves. Yeah, he in the kitchen, y'all. He in the kitchen. He like, I think he's rinsing out him and my son's plates because they ate dinner without me. So I can't play it right now. But when he goes back upstairs, I just, because I think it's so funny. But he didn't think it was funny. He thought it was too much. He was like, yeah, I don't even want to say what he said, but he didn't like it. And I know if Project Leroy is in here, Project Leroy's laughing now, but when I play it, he's probably not going to be laughing. So, but thank you, Divine Photos. Hold on, let me play the super chat. I like the little noise when he like jumps on the old dude. But okay, let's get back to this. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Now, therefore, my son, love your brethren and despise not in your heart your brethren, the sons and daughters of your people, and not taking women of them. For in pride is destruction. Like I said, the sowing and reaping is coming in light speed. Y'all better start learning how to pick better partners. There are black women and black men out here that are coming back to the truth, worshiping, praising, and showing fear and respect to the Most High Yahuwah. So you don't have to worry about cheating. You don't have to worry about being played. You don't have to worry about being beaten. Trust me, you don't have to worry about that stuff, because the men in this awakening are in so much fear of the Heavenly Father, they do not want to mess anything up, because they don't want to play with their inheritance, their generational wealth, and their blessings, and their covering. So a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a righteous woman is given to him that fears Yahuwah.
I find it hard to believe that a lifestyle influencer, 31 years of age, goes to Tanzania with her fiance and takes her life. You heard what I just said? Ashlee Jenae was found dead in a Tanzania hotel, and her fiance is claiming that she took her own life. Her fiance is claiming that she put a rope around her neck and took her own life. None of this shit is adding up to me. They go to Tanzania for her 31st birthday. They get engaged. She looks happy right here. What happened? You're telling me that she was this happy that she wanted to take her life. I want you to look at this woman. Tell me, do you think this woman would have randomly just took her life? I don't see that. They're saying that her fiance, Joe McCann, told Tanzania police that this woman right here put a rope around her neck and took her own life. Crazy part about this, nobody, including her family, believes this man. Why would she randomly do it? And this is an official statement from her family. Ashlee Robinson was on what should have been one of the happiest trips of her life, a birthday celebration in Zanzibar, Africa. Ashlee's birthday was April 5th. She just turned 31, surrounded by beauty, love, wildlife. She became engaged during a safari, an unforgettable moment that marked the start of a future she was so excited to build. Does that sound like somebody that would take their own life? Tanzania authorities have a whole lot of investigating to do, because I do not believe this woman put a rope around her own neck and took her life. Somebody's not telling the truth.
To go to Africa for her birthday, okay?
Yeah, my husband is crazy, but he don't hurt me now. Come on now. I ain't crying for help. I just know that he like, my husband is strict. Like, he's strict. Like, he don't play the radio. He don't laugh much. He don't really be thinking shit is funny, like he's just one of those real serious militant people, so when he tell me he don't like something, he ain't saying it twice. So It ain't like that, Randy, I promise. Okay, Blue says, I've been to Zanzibar before. Is it beautiful? It looks beautiful. I mean, I looked it up on the map. Beautiful place. I mean, I would love to go to a safari. A lot of Trump's politicals, they go out there to safari. But I haven't made it up that high yet in government. Maybe one day. Maybe I can make it up high enough to move to Hawaii. But I've heard beautiful things about it. But yeah, yeah, okay, Project Leroy. Okay. I'm gonna ask him if I can show it just one time. I'm gonna ask him if because I didn't get a super chat. I just want to show y'all what I have to delete. I'll tell him that y'all felt like the other two were really funny. But do y'all remember when Martin is in court with Tommy and Tommy's on the stand, may he rest in peace, and Martin shows the little Tommy has the little black book and he gives it to Martin, and Martin is like, what is this? What is this? And he's like, he's like, it's my little black book. It's my phone number book. And he's like, yeah. But when they say that, you know how Martin turns around and he yells to the courtroom, that phrase right there, when he says that phrase, I put up, I got a Cash App. That's what and I thought that was funny, but he did not think that was funny. So yeah, I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Okay.
The trip was planned, paid for, everything, right? They get over there. She's taking pictures. She's having the time of her life. She's calling her mom, her friends. She's calling everybody, telling everybody how wonderful it is. While she's over here, he decided that he wanted to propose to her while they were in Africa. That's the first red flag for me. Because why would you do it in Africa? That's the first red flag. So he proposed to her. We're not for sure if she said yes or not because we ain't seen no videos or nothing. After they were supposed to be back, I think Friday, all of this stuff happened, and they just now finding out that she was pronounced unalived, and they said that she did it. Ain't nothing wrong with Africa. We love Africa, but she's from America. She's from America. And see, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but for my Africans that's in here, this is
okay, guys. So these are TikTok people. They picked up the story and now they're just talking about it. So let me tell you, the reason why we know about what happened to Ashlee is because her friend is in marketing and communication. I think she's a publicist for some news station or maybe a gossip column, and nobody was talking about it. So her friend brought it to social media, and that's how now everybody knows about it. It's not like the FBI or the DOJ or anybody in a government official capacity has come out and said anything about Ashlee. The only reason why we know about all of this is because of her friend tweeting, Instagramming, and getting it out there. So the reason, we kind of have to be happy that there are people like content creators like Danny, me, Messy Michonne, Tisa Tells, Poetic Flacco, even though we might not agree with the way these people talk, we might not agree with all of their politics. You might not agree with mine. But if it wouldn't be for us talking about it, nobody would know. And this would just be another Black woman gone in another foreign country, and nobody would know her story. So that's who these people are. They're somebody's on TikToks, nobody to us is on YouTube, but they're helping push the story in the algorithm. So we got to give them props for that.
Femicide, and they don't really go hard on femicide like they do when if a man gets unalived, right?
Stop.
So what happened was after she just went and had this wonderful trip, she paid all of this money, right, Orange? Right. She paid all of this money for this trip. Her family even came out and was like, no, something in the milk ain't fucking clean. Because this ain't right. No. So this is really kind of like the Shanquella Robinson.
Yeah.
See, a lot of y'all done forgot about Shanquella and what they did over there. They still ain't arrested them fools. They still walking around here in North Carolina all willy-nilly and shit.
Yeah.
This was a TikTok live that I was watching. I don't see anything wrong with getting proposed to in Tanzania. It's a beautiful country.
No.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Me neither.
And femicide is ignored all over the world. And Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, a lot of West African countries are known for high rates of femicide. I follow Tanzania news, but not as closely as some other countries. But she is correct that this needs to be investigated. I don't know why she said all that shit about being proposed to in Africa. I don't see anything wrong with that, but whatever. That's my take on what she just said.
There is an update in the case of Ashlee Jenae. It's not an update that I expected to hear, and I still don't know if I believe this, but I'm going to keep you guys in the loop of everything that I find out. As of today, April 13th, 2026, Zanzibar police confirmed suicide and death of U.S. influencer Ashlee Jenae. Now, I was searching the internet trying to figure out how to find news happening in Zanzibar when I found a news outlet that is on Instagram. The statement says the influencer died while on holiday with her fiance in Tanzania, and initial reports have suggested foul play. However, North Unguja Police Commander Benedict Mapijira told the Citizen after news of Ashlee Jenae went viral across global social media platforms that they have ruled out foul play in her death. He said the incident occurred on Thursday, April 9th, 2026, which is after her birthday, April 5th, when the woman is said to have hanged herself using a piece of cloth from her dress inside a wardrobe. The regional police chief said that the couple had been staying together, but later had a disagreement, prompting hotel management to separate them into different rooms. They don't tell you what the disagreement is about. The police commander said that the matter was reported at the Nungwi police station after hotel staff raised an alarm that the guest was suspected to be suicidal. She was still alive when the matter was reported to the police. She was rescued and taken to the hospital. However, she passed away the following day, Friday, April 10th. He said the body remains in Tanzania pending further examination before arrangements for repatriation to the U.S. are made. And if that doesn't make you go, I don't know what will. I just thought about it. What were they arguing about? What did that argument consist of that they had to be separated into different rooms? Did it get that crazy? What happened? Now, it does sound crazy to me, and a lot of you were commenting under my post saying y'all don't know how depression works. I get it. Depression and suicidal thoughts can come at any point, but this whole situation sounds weird. I really hope that nobody's trying to cover up anything that happened. Even if the fiance did it, was there foul play at the resort that they were staying at? Zanzibar police say no, and I guess that's all we can go by for now. I would love to hear what the family has to say about this, her friends, so I'll be looking out for that. But I just wanted to keep you guys updated with the news that I am hearing.
Ain't no way I'm finna sit here and believe that Ashlee Jenae herself. You know why I'm not gonna believe that? Because
so Got Flavor One, I agree with you. They showed a picture of his previous wife, his ex-wife, and she's a Black woman too. She's in an African country. She's there with this white man. They had to be separated. you know, for an argument. Just because we get into an argument and we separate doesn't mean that he did anything nefarious to her. Maybe the hotel staff did something nefarious to her. Either way it goes, I don't believe that the young lady did any kind of self-harming. You know, I feel like something happened to her, but was it him? Was it the hotel staff? Was it, you know, maybe one of the guys that drove her to the safari that was kind of like loitering at the hotel? Like, who knows? You know what I mean? But like, to think that you would get engaged, go on this amazing trip, it's your birthday as well, and that you would self-harm is just unimaginable to me. As much as she was an influencer, she was real big on these pictures and traveling. Like, this wasn't her first time on a trip. I'm sure it wasn't her first argument with a boyfriend, you know? So, and I wanted to wait on it too. It just kind of tied back into the first story that I covered tonight about Mississippi and the way that harm used to be done onto us in the earlier years of this country's inception, you know, because it goes back to, you know, hanging from trees. They say that this young woman did that in a hotel room with an article of clothing that she had. It's just weird. I don't know. And thank you so much, CBZ, for the super sticker. I appreciate you so much. I have something to play for super stickers.
Imagine ain't no money around here, Yoko. Move it. Say what? What you doing punching in all them numbers, boy? What you got, a bank account in Switzerland or something?
Thank you so much for your contribution to tonight's show. I appreciate you so much. I hope y'all think these are funny. I'm going to be working on more of them, okay? It's just, I love Martin so much, and I just did a read of Tisha Campbell, so I was like, let me do some Martin. Let me do some of my favorite Martin moments. But okay, let this play. Thank you, CBZ.
Because Black people know their history, and because they know their history, they wouldn't do this because that was something that was done to their ancestors.
I'm glad that's why we're talking about this, because we talked about Mississippi, and Mississippi has the highest lynching numbers nationwide. You know, and we talked about that. We're coming up on America's 250th birthday, and Mississippi is number 1 with lynching. Horrible, right? But you know, this is why we're saying we don't think that a Black woman would do herself this way if that was the way she chose to go out. We just don't think that.
So miss me with the nonsense. Now, people are speculating that the fiance had something to do with it. This has neither been confirmed or denied, but data shows that women a lot of times get yeeted by the person that they are romantically involved.
You know what? Hold up. This man, I know this man. I don't particularly like his politics on social media. So I can't even believe I'm playing his he rage quit on the Untouchable panel with Fatty and Ali. I knew his voice from somewhere. His name is Controversial Shannon. Yeah, but okay, I'm gonna let this keep going, but
with. So I wouldn't be surprised if this comes out to be true, if it comes out to be true that he actually has something to do with it. Now, I hope he didn't, but I'm just saying. And honestly, bro, I'm sick and tired of this type of stuff happening to Black women.
Me too.
Enough.
I agree with that.
Is enough.
Yeah.
I don't wish to kill my baby. I don't wish this on nobody. A 31-year-old influencer was found dead in a hotel room just days after her husband proposed to her. Ashlee Jenae was reportedly discovered unresponsive inside a hotel in Tanzania. Authorities say her husband, John McCain.
I don't wish I killed my baby.
Yeah, so this is the part where it kind of like,
A 31-year-old influencer was found dead in a hotel.
Bad, but revealing news about an epidemic that's going on in the divested community that mainstream media won't talk about, politics won't talk about, right or left, or feminists won't talk about. Unfortunately, popular influencer Ashlee Jenae, who was a divester, was found hung in her hotel on her birthday in Tanzania. She was on a trip, her YT boyfriend divesting, and she was found very violently hung. They're ruling it as she did it to herself. And this is the type of stuff that happens in a divesting community a lot, but nobody talks about it, right? And here's the really dirty part about this whole situation. The boyfriend, the YT boyfriend, has not even spoken about this on his social media. He's pretty popular himself. He has not spoken about it, hasn't even acknowledged it. Her family is hurting right now. They need answers.
Thank you.
But he's pretty much gone silent to them, and this is just sad. It's a sad situation, but it's the unfortunate truth for many women, Black women, that decide to divest. Now, I don't want to beat her up. This is not to make a mockery of her passing, but she was a divester that belittled Black men. If you go through her pages, you go through her comments, she constantly belittled Black men. She degraded Black men. She had very nasty things to say about Black men. I do not know her background as of yet. I'm sure that's going to come out. I don't know if she's Black American, is she Caribbean, is she African. That's going to be very important to know as well, because that's going to tell us. But truth be told, all Black women divest. I believe Black American women do it to a lesser extent, but all women divest. So this is an epidemic that's just running rampant in the Black community. But many feminists, politicians, community activists, they won't speak on this. They won't speak on the harm.
Oh, so let me explain to Randy, because Randy doesn't know. Randy, when we say YT, we're trying to talk around the algorithm because we don't want to get in trouble. So, where BK might stand for Black, YT would stand for it don't matter if you're Black or, you feel me? Do you know the song? Do you know that the lyrics to that Michael Jackson song? It's one of my favorite. Yeah, Project Leroy. I feel you. It says the support her family expects is low because of her past tweets against Black men. Now when do her friends and family get the message that she was off code? I mean, I know. And that was kind of like what I was talking about earlier today when we were discussing Mississippi and the comments that Jazz was making yesterday on the panel with Fatty and them, saying that Black women have it, more harsh or have harder conditions in this country than Black men. And I had to like show the numbers, of the what do you call it? The hangings from trees. The numbers show that Black women and Black girls were only 100. There was only about 100 to 200 of those incidents happening in America versus the total count that we suspect might be between 5,000 in total, with 4,800 of them being Black men and boys. So when Black women talk about that they're that they have such more harsher conditions in this country than Black men, I was telling the audience, you should run away from those women as fast as you can, because these young Black boys and Black men were likely deleted because of a Black woman, or defending a Black woman, or trying to protect a Black woman. You know, that made me really mad yesterday. Okay, palm colored. Okay, I will sentiment. Thank you. Palm color. Yeah, because I want people to understand what I'm saying. And if everybody doesn't understand what I'm saying, then I have to choose better communication. So thank you for that. I will say palm colored. Palm. But see, my palm and my hand are like the same. So that's why it didn't dawn on me. But yes, I got it. I'll think of my dad. I got it. I got you. But yeah, that's why we're talking about this today, because, you know, maybe if she would have been with a Black man, maybe they wouldn't have been able to go to Zanzibar to get engaged, you know, because he's not some crypto allegedly scammer, you know, and she would still be alive today. And I think that is why all these Black content creators are making these stories, because they're just like, you know, it could have been different, but she didn't like us. Which goes even more into like mental health, which is something else we were talking, or the panel was talking about yesterday, you know, with the Untouchables, just, you know, men's mental health. You know, there were so many men in her comment section saying to her, this guy is going to delete you. I mean, O'Shea Duke Jackson even talked about this today, guys. And he pointed out that there was one commenter that only tweeted one thing with one follower and one comment. And he said, this man is going to delete you. And he was like, how eerie is that this one account on Twitter follows no one, you know, has nothing but one tweet. They put out one tweet and it's out to her saying that this man is going to do that to you. And O'Shea Duke Jackson was even like, you know, did this person know that this was going to happen, you know, 13 or 14 weeks ago? I think they had been dating since like October of 2025, I think the reports are saying. I don't know. I'm going to do better in investigative journalism on this, because, I mean, clearly we're going to want to get down to the bottom of why this is happening and how this happened. But it's sad. It's sad. I'm going to let this play. And then after this, we're going to get out of here, guys, because I got to go to bed. I got to get up early in the morning. And so do y'all. Okay.
They won't speak on Black women divesting, bringing this negative energy into the Black community. This woman,
I'm not even showing y'all nothing. Why you didn't tell me?
She would get online.
I'm so sorry.
Parading her luxurious life with her white tee boyfriend, right? This sells that idea and that dream to younger Black women. To reach success, you have to get with a YT man. And she spoke about this. This is her words too. If you go on her page, she goes into detail. She has a whole thing. She goes into details about this, of how successful Black women have to leave Black men. And this is what she left it for. A lot of times you have these Black women that worship these white men. And this is a lot of times how they go out. I have many stories on my Delvin's Room 2.0 that you can check out, that this happens a lot. You understand? And it doesn't really get covered because, one, the Democrats don't want it to be shown. Two, the Republicans don't want it to be shown. The feminists don't want it to be shown. Why? Why are they hiding facts? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think
Like,
it's to divide.
why don't they show this kind of stuff? You would think that even if you think that divesting is the way to go, you would think that you would want women to have the entire picture before you go out there and tell them to divest. But they never do that. They never tell you that, be careful, ladies, vet the guy, know the guy, before you put yourself in some foreign country away and alone from all of your family and friends. You would think that they would tell them that, but they don't. And this is why we say that our elders don't really teach us well. They don't really give us the full picture, which is so disheartening. Thank you for the super chat, Project Leroy. Project Leroy says the overall message was those who divest and reject their own group of males to worship another group of palm-colored males are misled by them to their demise. Yeah, that is so true. Thank you for the super chat. Oh my God, and I just realized that it says 911. Oh my goodness. That is wow. That is just kind of spooky, right? That we're talking about a young lady that passed away that was probably trying to call 911. Oh, my God.
The Black community, she was a beautiful woman, dark-skinned, chocolate, beautiful woman, but Black men wasn't good enough for her.
Okay, y'all don't like Poetic Flacco, so I won't show his video tonight. We already went over time because I talked too much, but yeah, 911 doesn't work outside of the U.S. I feel you. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And Randy says some networks don't think it's a big enough story. That's so sad. I mean, she had over 80,000 followers on Instagram, I mean, she has a family. She's an American. It should be a big story. People should want to get down to the bottom of it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Team Peterson. Listen, I'm not going anywhere where there's not a strong relationship with the U.S. I'm not going anywhere where if something bad happens to me that the U.S. wouldn't be able to come breathing down the back of their necks. You feel me? You do something in Italy, the police in Italy, they're going to treat you with a certain amount of respect because there's a U.S. embassy there and they have the U.S. to answer to should something happen to you in their custody. Same in Germany. Something bad happens to me in Germany, the Polizei, knowing that I have a U.S. passport, they're going to treat me a certain way because they're not going to want the long, strong arm of the U.S. to come and choke them out over me. You know what I mean? So it's yeah, that's why I don't like going to certain countries. You're never going to catch me just vacationing in Mexico. It's too unruly. You're not ever going to see me partying in Colombia. As a woman, I don't have that same luxury as you men traveling. It's not safe for me to be a passport girl is what I'm saying. You feel me? And for me to just go out of the country with a group of women that are going to be wanting to be drunk, loud, and out of control, it's just not safe for me. If I go to any of these countries, it will be with my husband, but I'm married to him 20 years. I feel like he wouldn't want me to be pushed over off of the boat if we go on a cruise. I know him well enough to know that he knows he's going to have the answer to my father. My daddy ain't going to take no story like that. Now you come here, you say it to my face. You tell me to my face that Raquel did this. Ain't no over the phone 2 days after something like that done happened to Raquel that you going, no. My dad ain't going for that. It will be some smoke in the city. My dad has this saying about, and most of you all are mature gentlemen. I don't know what cowboy movie he got this from, but he has this like saying like, you know, I'll make a pencil box out of your Adam's apple or something like that. I think he got that from a cowboy movie, but my dad is just like another one of these kinds of guys that just don't joke around. A lot of things aren't funny to him, you know? Yeah, that's right, Project Leroy. Some of y'all missed the point about the media not airing this story. The media will not throw dirt on their own people. And we have to remember that this is a palm-colored person of U.S. society. So here we go again. Here we go again. So yeah, you know, I wonder if women like Jazz will, you know, do any kind of content or coverage on this story, being that, you know, they're not able to put this on a Black man, you know, but they likely won't. And in my comments yesterday on that live panel, I did say a few times that I really truly feel by the way she was talking that eventually in her YouTube journey, I can see her going into the divester lane, because it's just like, you know, where does all this vitriol towards Black men come from? How do you think you would be here without them? It's sad. Yeah, Catalyst, Catalyst 247. A guy in a previous TikTok that we just reviewed, if you rewind it a little far back, he said that he felt like this was a sacrifice to whatever Mason sacrifice. Yeah, but let me let this play.
Good enough for her. Brown skinned brothers wasn't good enough for her. Light skinned brothers wasn't good enough for her. Hell, biracial brothers wasn't good enough for her. It was the white man. It was the YT man. That's what she wanted. And when you worship like that, you know, stuff is gonna find you, man. It's sad. Hopefully we figure out exactly what happened. Hopefully justice is served. But this dude is online already talking about other stuff. This man's talking about his stocks and bonds now. He's going on with his life. Whatever happened in that hotel that she was found hung, whatever happened, you know, and I just don't understand why this doesn't get reported on in the mainstream. I really don't. It's Black women are being harmed, but here's the kicker of it all, and why it might not get reported. Black women don't want it to be reported. That's the sad part. That's the sad reality of it, because that dream that has been put into their head by Hollywood, by Halle Berry's of the world, Eve, Serena Williams, all these Black women that divest nationwide, worldwide. They put these ideas into the minds of young girls that divesting is the way. Divesting for a lot of women has been the way to hell. These women are dealing with pure evil, and they're accepting it because this is what they have been told. It's everything. So I feel bad for divestors sometimes. They have been told, they have been sold the idea that us Black men are such horrible beings. We're such horrible beings that you have to go to somebody that violated you. And for the Black women that try to use well, Black men do bad things too. Here's the thing with that, right? Yes, there are Black men that do bad things and do horrible things. But here's the kicker with that, right? We are still here as a people and as a race. So one Black man is not gonna destroy the whole Black community. One Black man is not gonna destroy the whole Black community, right? History has shown us that we have still overcome our demons in our community, right? Where we haven't stopped as a race. If all Black women were to choose to divest and choose to never date Black men, the Black race would not exist. The Black race would cease to exist in probably 60 years. There will be no more Black people that walk this earth.
Oh
And I
my
feel
God,
that's what
that's
many
so
divestors want.
depressing.
I believe that's what many YT supremacists want. Without the Black man, we can't have the Black race. And many divestors choose to ignore that.
I mean, look at Australia. Look at what happened there. You know? Crazy. Like, they have tried that before, you know, by force. But imagine if people just willingly signed up to do that. That's so crazy.
This woman went out violently. She didn't deserve that. She was a beautiful woman. And I'm even have to go get into this, but I have to make this point right quick, man. And it may hurt some feelings, but it's a truth. A lot of our dark-skinned sisters, right? Especially dark-skinned sisters that's perceived to be extremely gorgeous like she was. A lot of those women, you will hear Black men say, hey,
Oh my God, y'all can't see it again?
right? I've seen it on dating shows and stuff like that. People, how can a dark-skinned woman, she look like she don't date Black men, right? We know what we see when we say that. We're not saying that because, oh, we're trying to be colorist or something like that. We know that there is a narrative out there that when you see beautiful dark-skinned women, they only date white dudes. This is a real thing. This is a real thing. This is not something that somebody's making up in their mind and oh, you some loser. No. This is an example of it. I have plenty of examples on my page. She was a beautiful dark-skinned woman, and she didn't find dark-skinned men attractive. She didn't find brown-skinned men, light-skinned men. She didn't find nothing Black attractive. This is very common. But they'll cry colorist. They'll cry featurist. They'll cry. But you the one that was anti-Black the whole time. Oh, because you dark-skinned, you can't be anti-Black. We have to fix this type of stuff. And if we don't say it, if we construct it to the point that we can't say this, we can't fix this. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, you know, RIP to this lady. RIP to her. It's sad. But when you choose to divest and you choose to belittle the Black man, don't expect sympathy. Because some brothers is going off. Some brothers is, you know, they doing the smoking on pack and stuff. I'm not doing
Nah,
that.
I don't think that's cool.
She did hate Black men. She put us down. She said lots of bad things about us, but she didn't deserve that as well.
Right.
This nigga Delvin. Delvin's going to the next.
Thank you, Delvin.
That there was a plot before her. And that sounds a whole lot like Sade Robinson. I'm just saying.
So that's another young lady,
was a
Sade Robinson.
beautiful, dark-skinned, chocolate,
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous woman too.
The girl
in
that was-
college, had her own apartment, was
In
paying her
Baltimore
own bills, paying her
or
own way
somewhere?
through school. And Andrew, what was his name? Anthony something, had a whole plan to unalive her. Had a whole plan to do it. Told a few people he was gonna do it and did it. And sliced her up and threw her all over different parts of Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said.
But Randy, you as a man, you're safer. You're safer. Look at how much bigger this man was to her. I mean, again, men, you have the luxury of having more options, more opportunities, because you're in the position you're the stronger one. So she tries to do anything crazy to you, you're likely going to be able to overpower her. But do you see how big this guy's arms were when he was holding her up in the air? I mean, I'm 5 feet, 120 pounds lately. I'm trying to get rid of 10 pounds, but you feel me? Like I'm no match to him. He will knock me out. I mean, I'm not I'm not able to defend myself. So the point of not dissing where you come from is because that's where your protection lies. And you as a woman, you're supposed to know that. This is where I'm safe. This is home to me. Okay, only logical. Okay, thank you, sentiment. Only logical. So I got Stassi Charles, Sade Robinson, and now I have this website, Only Logical, and I'm going, or YouTube channel. So I'm going to check this out. So maybe on Wednesday when you all come back, we'll go over what I find between now and then, and we'll cover it on Wilted Roses Wednesday. But I'm gonna stop sharing this, guys, because it's almost 11:30 and I gotta go to bed. I just wanted to, get back to doing my shows. I still do want to do uploads throughout the week, so you'll see an upload from me. I think I'm gonna do either. I think I might do Tia Mowry or Cardi B. Both of them are getting on my nerves, to be quite frank with you all. Both egregious, beautiful women with just emptiness upstairs, just completely empty. I gotta talk about them. They get on my nerves. So I think I'll drop a video on either one of them, Cardi B or Tia Mowry. And then I also heard some crazy stuff going on with Safari and Erica Mena. Got to be careful with Erica Mena because she be in Atlanta. I don't want to have to. Yeah, I don't want y'all to see me like Jada Waiter in the club, in the headlock by by Erica Mena. Could y'all imagine if y'all saw me on the Shade Room getting dragged by Erica Mena? Oh my God. Square back Maori. Yeah, I think I'll do her. Either way it goes. Cardi B was online, yelling at everybody for stealing money on her credit card. And I think it was her baby daddy, her ex-husband or her husband, Offset. I think he was stealing from her. And before she was able to put 2 and 2 together, she was cussing all of us out on social media, which is just absolutely ludicrous. I'm getting sick of people just acting bad online. Like, show some freaking decorum, But I love you guys. I wanted to say that I guess like what ties all of these stories together is power, right? The power to shape your history, the power to control your narrative, the power to decide who gets protected, who gets blamed, who gets remembered. Either, you're from Mississippi, confronting the truth of the past, or the rising tension in Iran, where people there are unfortunately blacked out from the internet. And then the chaos and public drama, with celebrities like Cardi B, Tia, Big Back Maori, and this young lady, Ashlee. Each story shows what happens when image control and consequences just collide, in horrible ways, So we have the power to control our own stories. So when we review these stories, they're somewhat a cautionary tale of like, how do we want the stories of our own lives to go? Like, you see, I was supposed to get off at 10:30, but I went over an hour because it's important to me. I want to have, not only do I want to have a good show, but I want us all to get something out of it. And if the conversation if we're all getting something out of it and the conversation is moving along and progressing in a good, thoughtful way, I want to keep that going because it's like therapy for all of us. And these conversations matter. You know, history is not supposed to stay buried. So I'm very proud of what that museum in Mississippi did by, you know, showing the details of what Mississippi was doing in the inception of the United States. You know, global conflict, even though it's far away, you know, we're experiencing it here with all of us talking about gas prices. And you know, shout out to the truckers and their 55-gallon trucks to fill. You know, my hat goes out to y'all. I hope that you guys find relief soon. I hope we all find some relief. I hope the U.S. and Iran can like get this shit together, you know? And then, you know, with this young lady, Ashlee Jenae, you know, and other young ladies that are like her that are divesting online, your public behavior does not exist in a vacuum. And when something bad happens to you, you're going to have these same men that you were talking down on saying, rest in your preference. You know, so everything is going to connect you back to truth, accountability, and the story people try to tell us versus the reality we can plainly see for ourselves. That is a mouthful. Like, I feel bad. I don't know what else to say. Like, I feel bad. I hate all of this happened to this young woman, but we'll continue to talk about it until we get some more answers. And until then, y'all need to be safe. Talk to your sisters, talk to your aunties, you know, about being safe in general, whether they're divesting or not. Vet the people you fucking date. Period. Vet them. But I love y'all very much. It seems like y'all want me to drag Tia Mowry. Y'all got all these little funny sayings about her. Okay, so we'll do Tia Mowry. Okay. I think y'all tired of Cardi B. I know Tasha K is, right? But anyway, I love y'all so much. Thank you to everybody that sent a super chat. Please hit the like button. I'm going to read the super chat, so it'll give you a couple of moments to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Thank you to Project Leroy. Thank you, CBZ. Thank you, Divine Photos. Thank you, Jay Walker, for becoming a new member. I need to look at my membership, so thank you so much. Love you to death, sister. Project Leroy, Messy Michonne came through. Go Cree came through. Two of my favorite female content creators on YouTube. Both of them so funny, so smart, so talented. Just to be in y'all's presence or to have y'all support means the most to me. Just Black women in these spaces supporting each other. It means a lot because my fans, my subscribers are mostly males. So when females come to support me, it's super special. So I love y'all. Thank you very much. 30K, thank you so much. You are a permanent fixture in the garden. I appreciate you supporting me always as you do. Brandon Nesbitt, another permanent fixture of the garden. Postman, my OG. Love you to death, brother. Thank you for being a member. And salute to you, sir. Sly Silver Slick Bronx. That is a mouthful, but thank you so much for your support tonight. Mr. Wilson, thank you so much for supporting your girl Smell the Roses. The fact that you come visit me from SBC from time to time blows my mind. I'm very appreciative of that. And lastly, Hustler's Philosopher, thank you for starting us off tonight talking about where you're from in Mississippi. He's from Philadelphia, Mississippi, and you know, he told us that basically Starksville, Mississippi, slavery still exists there. So, you know, even though we like to say that those things are so much behind us, are they really? Something to think about. Something to think about. But I love you all so much. Thank you for all of your support tonight. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Be there. Don't be square. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for giving me a lot to research. Okay, I will be researching this Stassi Charles, and I'll be going over to this Only Logic YouTube channel and check them out. Okay. Again, I love you all. See you all next time. Okay. Bye-bye.